9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is going on, people? Welcome to another edition of the Prem Panel Show. Back on a Thursday, as always. Slightly earlier time to pick up everyone who's already waiting and everyone who's joining in. I got the boys, Cal and Matt, with me as always. But before we get into that, we've got a special guest. You loved him last time he was on, so I brought him back just for you guys. It's your main man, Laurie from AFTV. What's going on, bro?
Thank you, Rose. It's an honour and a pleasure to be part of this esteemed panel. Very much looking forward to it. And you know what? As a token of my gratitude for being on the show, I actually bought you a little present, Thrifty. Hold on.
Okay.
Something that you may be able to pass on to the Liverpool fans and
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
These are NHS approved, and they do work. The false positive thing. And I'm going to send this to you right after the show. Now, in fact, there's a couple of boxes. I'm sure Jurgen Klopp will make good use of them, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right, cool.
Laurie, just quickly, seeing as we're dishing out a couple of jabs, do you think he might have needed to take one?
He's had a nightmare, man.
Yeah, and obviously we've got the main man, George. What's going on, bro?
Come on, all good.
Nah, I know you're gonna be actually, I don't know if you're gonna be venting. We'll get into it. We'll see how annoyed you are this week
We'll
about
see.
the comings and the goings. So obviously there's gonna be a point where I'll ask anyone if they've got anything to get off the chest, and the show could go left, right, or anywhere. But we're gonna kind of just make this a transfer special because this is the last Prem Panel show we have before the window shuts. So obviously after the window shuts, things could be completely different. But this is the only one.
Show then, man.
No, it really will. We're gonna have to talk about everyone
I might be
else.
a bit more vexed in the next week's one then.
Well, yeah, for real. And obviously Tottenham do kind of have famous last minute deadline day, history. So is Conte gonna keep that up? So obviously I'm gonna talk a little bit about Liverpool. We talk about it all the time, but obviously we'll have to talk about Liverpool. But I'm gonna make this very Tottenham and Arsenal heavy, and then obviously touch on the other clubs who've done some brilliant business in this window, or the people who are moving how we should be, should I say. So I'll start with Arsenal because we've got Laurie as a special guest. Now, you guys even just told me before we came on air that another Arsenal player has gone out. The car boot sale continues, Laurie.
Hey, listen.
But you're not bringing anyone in, bruv. What is it? What's going on?
Callum Chambers, man. I mean, who wouldn't be? I can't believe it.
No, but the wickedest thing is, Laurie, the reason why it still surprises me, though, is because he does cover right back and he does cover centre back. So even if he's not the best player in the world, he is cover in your squad that does get used. I don't make some sense of this for me, Laurie. Like, what's going on with Arsenal's transfer strategy?
Bro, I wish I could tell you. We was in the office today and we was all saying that, you know what I mean? It reflects badly on Edu and them, man. Seriously, this has been really poor. And especially when you take into consideration the form of the team at the moment. I mean, 2022, I'm sure you guys know, we haven't won a game in 2022 yet, man.
No goals scored, I believe.
Yeah, we haven't won
red cards, though. Couple red cards.
You know what I mean? And we've ostracized, in my view, what is our best player. The way we treated him, I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it down the line. But the way
I wanted to talk about that today. Actually, I don't know if it's something that you want to talk about because it seems a bit sensitive.
Something I do want to get off my chest. Actually, I'm going to say that the way
as soon as you finish with the transfer stuff, we'll get into Aubameyang.
Arteta and Kroenke have treated Aubameyang is disgusting, in my view. Listen, I'm not condoning the facts that he was late. We heard it was multiple times. I mean, what is multiple? Multiple means more than one. It was happening every week. I think the fans need to know more about what's going on because this does look like he's been ostracized and treated very unfairly to me, man. I don't know what you guys feel, but a lot of fans now are starting to openly question what's going on. Because listen, the man turned up late. Apparently, he's done it before. You drop him, fine. Even taking the captaincy away from him was a step too far for me. But they've done that. Initially, when they did it, we had a little surge of good form. People said, oh, but I knew this would happen. I knew that was only temporary and that sooner or later we'd be struggling for goals and people would be saying what's happening. But the way that man's been treated, when you consider what he's done for this club in a relatively short space of time, I mean, some people would argue and say that the mere fact that Arteta still has a job is down to Aubameyang almost single-handedly winning the FA Cup for him a couple of years ago.
Very true. Very true.
Even this season, I think I pointed out something when I was last on your show. We had those 3 defeats at the start of the season, humiliating defeats to Brentford, Chelsea, and Man City, respectively. Got tonked. We went into that 4th game. A lot of people were saying, "Listen, if we lose this game, man, Arteta's got to go." We didn't play that well. We won that game 1-0. Do you know who scored the goal in that game? Aubameyang.
That was that Norwich, was that?
Yeah. And now look, here we are. I mean, listen, man, we don't know exactly what's going on, so I guess I've got to temper some of my anger and say, look, you don't really know what's happening. But even so, man, it just don't seem right. And then when you consider the way Saliba's been treated, when you consider the way that some of the other guys have been treated, Guendouzi, people like that, I think man management is starting to become an issue at this club, man. But hey, I'll keep my powder dry for now.
Well, this is the thing. Sorry, Cal, just before I forget on that Guendouzi thing. So Guendouzi, Saliba, Aubameyang, ostracized. Like literally, it was almost like Arteta has a vendetta. I mean, we don't know what may have happened in training and conversations that have gone on, but just from the outside looking in. But then you've got people like Xhaka who can get away with doing something publicly that you can't hide. And he's actually still brought back in. And you think to yourself, I mean, we've got problems at Liverpool within the fan base where we feel like Klopp's got a lot of favoritism towards certain players like Henderson, Milner, Firmino. Some of the players, like they're great players, but if they're out of form, he'll still play them and he won't give people a chance who maybe could come in and do a good job like Naby Keita and Origi and players like that where they prove themselves when they play, but for some reason he'll favouritize the other players. Yeah. And that annoys us, and that's just minor favouritism. But at Arsenal, this seems like real favouritism. Like this is favouritism beyond like, this is almost personal, it almost seems like.
And you could add Pepe to that list as well. To me,
that is true. Yeah, playing very well at AFCON, and you're thinking.
I'll give you a quick example of that. Very quick example. Last season, Pepe got sent off against Leeds. Remember that little clash he had with Alioski?
Yes. I remember that. Yeah.
All the man did was lean his head towards Alioski. Alioski went down. We all saw it. It was disgusting. Now, listen, Pepe should have known better, yeah? But he's a young guy, you know, he's come from another league. He's not probably aware of some of the nuances of this league. So he got sent off and he got criticised. The manager after that came out publicly and criticised Pepe. A lot of people like myself was like, rah, like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, we know he's done wrong. He got sent off. He's going to miss a couple of games. There's no need for you to go in as well. But he made a point of publicly criticising Pepe. And when I sort of raised that with some fans, they were like, yeah, you know what? No, Arteta's, you know, he's got to make a stance against this kind of thing. In that time, Xhaka's probably been sent off about 3 times, all for some little stupid stuff. And he's never once said anything. He's never chastised Xhaka publicly for anything. And then lo and behold, Xhaka gives an interview last week where he's almost laughing at the situation. Saying, look, that's the way I play. And you know what I mean? That's what I do. Referees got a vendetta against me. And the man was all making like little jokes about, at least we didn't get tonked that last time I got sent off. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Where's the consistency?
Yeah.
You know?
It does feel very personal what Arteta's done to the other players. It does.
And with Aubameyang, it's almost like the desire to humiliate has overtaken the need to punish. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like you're not going to stop at just punishing the guy. It's like you want to put your foot on his neck and drive him out of the club. And I don't think he deserves that, man. You know what I mean?
I think Arteta's trying to make a point because obviously it's like his first major job, isn't it? So he's probably thinking like, all right, I've got to make a massive point, prove that I'm the boss, even though like I've had very little experience. It just feels like one of them situations.
It does.
Yeah.
And just to even
I
add
feel
to
he's
that,
overplaying his hand, bro.
I think he is. Do you think there's a similarity with a bit of even the Ozil thing? Do you think the
Yeah.
remember because the Ozil thing kind of got out of hand? It's like, okay, you don't want him here, but then it became a thing of you're trying to embarrass man.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like they're trying to do the same thing to Aubameyang. It's like, okay, you choose him on the captaincy, which okay, maybe a bit harsh. Then you're getting man to train with the kids and all this stuff, and it's like, and what it is as well, you're making it very well documented, a bit like what Mourinho did with Pogba. Remember when that clash, and he made sure the cameras were watching them. I kind of get that same thing from him. I don't know if you guys agree.
So, Cal, I remember you wanted to ask Laurie something, bro.
Yeah. So, Laurie, you make some good points. I'll tell you what it seems from the outside looking in. So feel free to correct me if you think I'm wrong. It feels as though you've got a new manager in Arteta who's there and obviously he has to stamp some authority down. That's what any manager has to do. But he wants to stamp authority so much that he's doing almost too much to show I'm the big man here. Yeah. Almost as if to say, if anyone does anything, I've got to publicly make an example out of you so no one crosses me. It's almost as though he's being too emotional in the job. He's treating it like it's not a team. It's too personal almost. And I think that's can come back to be a real detriment because not only is it bad for the dressing room currently that you have, there's potentially players that you might want who are looking at this thinking, all right, so is this how he sort of shuns players when things get a little bit dicey? To me, it looks as though he's shown his inexperience by doing all of this rather than actually trying to get people back on side. He's just completely ostracizing people, which I don't know if that breeds a good culture or not.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And listen, players, you know what it's like. It's a small fraternity at the end of the day. Players will talk to each other and word will get round about this guy. He needs to be careful. He's trying to adopt this kind of tough guy stance. But the problem with that is as well is that if you're producing the results, then people might give you a little bit of leeway and say, well, at least it's working, like what some people were saying earlier. But, you know, I mean, you look at the form at the moment, man, it's not very good.
I wonder if that time under Pep has sort of hindered him a little bit in the sense that he's almost, obviously he's trying to learn from him, but Pep, it can be harsh on his rotations and everything he does with this squad because he's built his career, he's got the experience and he's won everything to show for it. Whereas it feels like Arteta's learning from him, but taking it too direct and thinking, oh, I need to be like him if I want to be at his level. So I'm going to copy him exactly, even though he hasn't built himself up to that point yet of like having that respect from the players.
That's what I was just thinking, George. Because I was thinking you got the Mourinhos, you got the Contes, you've got those type of Pep, you got those managers who are very harsh and are very cutthroat, but they've got so much in the bank with the league wins and the Champions Leagues and all that they've gained experience along the way that's made them realize what they should do. Whereas you're right, Arteta doesn't have all of that respect for what he's won, but he's throwing his weight around like he's one of those guys. Like it does feel a bit unbalanced at the moment. I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's becoming a bit of a concern, I must say, because, you know, fans talking amongst themselves and they say, listen, man, we're a little bit uneasy at this. You know what I mean? Like you just basically ostracize and ran the man out of the club. A man who I might add, we could be dealing with right now. I mean, listen, even though he wasn't on form, I'm be the first one to admit that. But it's interesting that at the time when he got left out the squad and all the rest of it, he'd scored 4 Premier League goals. At that time, he'd actually got more goals than Harry Kane. And Harry Kane had his issues too with Spurs, hadn't he? I mean, there was people saying the transfer thing, rumours with City was affecting his form. I even heard some Spurs fans, maybe George might comment on this, was saying that they didn't think that Kane was giving his best at the start of the season.
Oh, no, he definitely wasn't. The problem is we couldn't afford to drop him because we quite literally do not have another striker at the club. So
but I would argue that we're the same.
Play regardless.
But in a way, we're the same. We don't have a striker to fill Aubameyang's shoes. I mean, Lacazette, I love Lacazette as a player, but he's not a prolific goal scorer. He never has been and he never will be. He's just not prolific enough.
So at the moment, would you say Arteta is definitely cutting off his nose to spite his face? Because 100%. He must know what he could do with Aubameyang's goals right now. He must do.
Exactly. But he seems to be on this mission to drive the man out of the club. And I just don't, I mean, listen, like I said, there might be things that we're not aware of what's gone on. Maybe he's tried to attract to Aubameyang and maybe they had a full-scale row. And maybe he felt that Aubameyang being at the club undermines his position as manager. But maybe the club need to come out and say it, because the fans are looking at it and thinking, well, okay, he's clearly got a problem with getting the Lambo to training on time, but come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, you punished him, you dropped him, you took the captaincy away from him. Enough is enough now. You know what I mean? You got an asset there as well. You're paying the man like 300 grand a week just to train with the kids or train by himself.
So sorry to stay on this. That was going to be my next question, Laurie. Do you think the club are trying to actually get him to a point where he just says, look, I want out, get me out, because of him being on such high wages and the fact they need a replacement?
I was just about to say the same.
I must admit, it is looking that way. They may be hoping that,
because didn't they have with Ozil as well? Didn't he get a new contract? And it was sort of after that it started to fade away.
Yeah.
As soon as they get the bag,
because I've spoken to professional footballers, like ex-professional footballers, and they've said, listen, man, a lot of the stories you hear are not always what goes on. When the clubs want a player out of the club, they will come up with all kinds of little Machiavellian ways to achieve that aim. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
I think Mr. Bezos is rubbing his hands, because it's got to be in the doc, right? It's got to be in the doc. If I'm watching that doc and I do not hear anything about the Aubameyang stuff, I'm be so disappointed.
It'll be interesting to see how they cover that. I'm sure they'll find a way of making Arsenal come out of it.
Because even in the Tottenham one,
they're going to need the season 2.
In the Tottenham one, remember, they were very, very like, wow, we need to show Rose is going in. He's going to beef Mourinho. Dele Alli's going. Like, they were very, like, they wanted to make sure we knew the beef between the player,
they showed
the manager.
Son and Lloris had punched up.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Even like Harry Kane coming in and dashing things around the change room. They made sure we knew what was going on. So I'm sure with the Arsenal one, we're going to see who puts their arm around Xhaka in the change room afterwards.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait either.
Oh man,
it's going to be a bestseller, isn't it? Let's be honest.
By the way, Laurie, this isn't me who keeps on being shady. Not me.
No one's being shady, bro. We need images. We need to bring it to life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But on a serious note, we are in a bit of a rut at the moment. I mean, you've alluded to the lack of business in the transfer window. There's a couple of days left, and we've done nothing.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think you will do anything? And do you think Aubameyang will leave in the next few days?
I think they're trying to get him out. I mean, he was linked with this a move away to Saudi Arabia, wasn't it? I knew you weren't going to go there.
Probably the only people that can afford to pay wages.
I saw something today where there was a link with AC Milan, but they were saying that Aubameyang's wages might be the problem. But that was
it's going to be the problem everywhere, though. 350 is a lot of money, man. I think PSG and Man City, the only teams who would comfortably pay that.
Yeah, well, we're struggling to offload Ndombele to PSG, so let alone.
What's he on 200, isn't it? And Ndombele on 200, yeah. So 350
plus, he's 3.
Yeah.
And I remember, because when he signed that new deal, just before it, he was kind of, I wouldn't say wavering, but you know what these things are like. It was taking its time, and everyone was like, sign the ting and rare.
Yeah.
When he did sign in the end, Arteta no less was saying, "Oh, this is like signing a new player and blah." And look how it's gone wrong.
Yeah, a worse one.
I mean, I like the guy. I mean, he hasn't. Obviously, he's been out of form. Like I said, he got the 4 goals, which is still more than some Premier League strikers, incidentally.
The thing is, Louis, I know, like
Brifty. I don't know how you guys think, man. I'm of that view that form is temporary, class is permanent.
But that's what I was just about to say, bro. I was just about to say, we laugh and we joke because, no offense, Arsenal make it easy a lot of the time to banter. They do. You know what I mean? We got to keep it a buck. But Aubameyang is a world-class striker. Yeah. I don't care if he's out of form at the moment. Everyone knows my feeling. I wanted Liverpool to jump in and convince him to come Liverpool when his contract was running out. Yeah. And maybe he might be at the wrong end of his career, but he's a proven goal scorer. You don't score 20-plus goals for about 7 or 8 years in a row if you ain't the shit. Like, come on, man. Like you've just got to find a way to get the best out of a player who clearly, if he's in front of goal, bangs. It's just a fact. So what Arsenal are doing now is so confusing. I got to be honest, it's so confusing.
Like I said, in 2022, we've had 5 games. We haven't won a game. we've scored 1 goal. In our last 4 games, we've not scored a single goal, bro. You know what I mean?
That's mad.
Eddie and Nketiah don't even want to sign, and you're playing him.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. And Eddie, whilst I like Eddie as, you know, I mean, I appreciate what he's trying to do. I like him as a player. He's not the answer, bro. I'm just being real, innit? Everybody knows that. We've seen him play for a while now. Eddie is quite possibly a Premier League striker, but at Arsenal, it's not working out for him. He could go, I mean, he was linked with Palace. It could be that he goes to Palace and has a reasonable career. But I think at Arsenal, for whatever reason, it's just not going to happen. And this man's been the manager trying to convince Eddie to stay after he got the hat-trick against Sunderland in the Carling Cup, quarter-final of the Carling Cup. It was, yeah, we want him to stay. He's going to be a very good player for us. He didn't play him the next couple of games. Even at the weekends, we played Burnley. You know, we could be playing now. We still wouldn't score a goal. But the man waited until the 77th minute to make a substitution. We was all in there at the watch along thinking, what one? Does this man not know that it's like time's running? Does he know that it's only a 90-minute game? It's not like you know, like back in the day when you're playing football, you say, yeah, first goal wins. You just keep playing to it. I'm like, bro, it's 90 minutes. It's like you should have made a substitution 10 minutes into the second half when it looked like it weren't happening. You got Eddie there. You was eulogizing about the guy about a month ago. Now we need a goal to beat Burnley in a very important game with regards to the top 4. And you know what I mean? You bring him on with like 11 minutes to go. Ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. So just before we move on to Tottenham then, bro, do you actually think Arsenal will bring in a player or two before the window shut?
I do think they're trying, but I think for whatever reason they're struggling, and it's not looking good right now, man. I mean, I'm of the opinion, I don't know what you guys think, that it's not always easy to get better players in January anyway. You saw what happened with Vlahovic. When there was all that noise about Vlahovic coming to Arsenal, I was always very skeptical about that. Number one, it was clear to me that the player didn't really want to come. I think it even was attributed to making some comment like Arsenal doesn't match his ambitions. Then we were throwing
Champions League, innit?
Yeah, we were throwing money at it. Then there was a time when it was starting to look like, oh, it's down to Arsenal and Tottenham, but Arsenal are the favourites. And then the man ends up going Juve, you know what I mean? Which is what a lot of us thought he would do in the first place. So I'm looking around, man, and we've been linked again to various people, but nothing really seems to be happening. We probably will bring in a couple of nondescript guys, but at the moment, man, it's looking kind of, it's not looking good, put it up.
So watch this space for Arsenal, man. It's going to be very, very interesting. Before we move on to Tottenham, Cal, we got any super chats we need to get through, bro?
Yep. PL says, rank the teams that have had the best list of strikers in the Prem. Mine is United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. You guys upset me yesterday not picking Matip. I had him on my list.
I'd probably agree with that if I'm being honest. I think there could be an argument Liverpool have had better than Man U, but Man U have had some serious strikers.
They have.
I think Man U has to be number one.
Probably Man U one. Yeah, Man United.
I'd have to sit down and think about that one properly before because I'm not gonna lie, Torres, Owen, Fowler, and Rush is disgusting. So I'd have to sit down and think about that.
Even Suarez, bro.
Suarez, oh yeah, bloody hell, forgot about it. Yeah, actually, we've got to have a conversation. That's a very, very good conversation.
But saying that Man United, Cole, York, Rooney, Cristiano, arguably you could say was
Van Nistelrooy,
well. Percy.
Oh yeah. People are going to say he played for them.
They've had a few, bro. I can't lie.
Ibrahimovic. If you're going,
United are looking like the standout, but that's very Man United, isn't it? They like that kind of sort of iconic centre half. Sorry,
surprised they haven't gone for Kane, to be honest.
I think that's coming, George.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. If they were doing better than they were, I think they would, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
They might have, you know.
I think that's coming in the summer, unfortunately, George.
Indeed, I don't see him staying again. I don't know. We have to wait and see.
We'll tackle that when it comes to it.
Bro,
but hold on, have United got any strikers who scored a half volley in the Champions League final? They haven't, have they?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Technically, Ollie did.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, well, we saw how that one. We saw how that one ended anyway.
Promo says, why didn't we go for Traore on loan as well?
I would have took that. You lot know
Traore is an interesting one, isn't it?
Because I don't know.
He's one of those players, man, that he's got some unique gifts, but the end product isn't always there. You know what I mean?
It's not there.
We're definitely gonna get on. We're definitely gonna get onto the Traore stuff. So yeah, we're definitely gonna get onto that. Trust me.
P. says, "Congrats, guys, on the draft last night. Kaka Gate was comedy gold up there with Eddie Murphy, Raw for sheer entertainment. Callum, look, I just picked a player."
Listen, I just made a mistake.
Kaka Gate. Listen, we all know. A couple of people was like, "No, Jiff, you was robbed there. You was," and the people was trying to make it out like what I was saying wasn't.
But
true.
it's because Carl set pace with his first mistake.
No, we never punished him. Me off, bro.
Oh yeah,
do you know what I felt like? I felt like it was the beginning scene to The Dark Knight. You know where the Joker just taking everyone out. That was Cal. Cal was just taking everyone out, and I was the last guy when he just put the thing in his mouth and he just walked away laughing. I didn't even realize
Cal had the master plan. That's the thing.
He did, of course he did.
Just to give you context, Laurie and George, we did a all-time rest of the world 11 draft yesterday, right? And Matt made a mistake by putting Kaka in his team. We decided as a team to let Matt off with the mistake because I'd made a mistake earlier and got let off, and then it was my draft next, so I decided to draft in Kaka, and they're making a big deal out of it. Personally, I don't think it's anything major.
I'm not making a big deal out of it.
Oh yeah, no, Matt, no, it's all right, Matt. You can take Kaka out your team. I get it. Like it's completely fine. Next pick, I'll take Kaka. It was all strategic. For a while,
though, he was an amazing player, innit? He seemed to fall off quite quickly, though, didn't he?
He was, but the draft was based on players at their peak. And as well as Kaka was at his peak, we all know why Callum wanted him as his team. That's why it was scandalous. Kaka Gate. I like that. That's what we're calling it now.
Do you still know where who Zico played for, Cal? Just quickly.
Yeah, played centre midfield for Brazil.
Matt, you saw the messages in the room this morning, innit? Cal was in the mud last night. He knew I was dragging him, but he held his own. But he knows I was dragging him.
Man said Brazil. Man can't even name the club name.
Once again,
he's got the Wikipedia ready on the side.
Talking about Brazilian strikers, I was watching Netflix the other day. I don't know if you guys are aware, you probably do know, but there's a documentary on Neymar.
I haven't seen it yet.
I want to watch that. I'm going to watch it though, Lawrence. I want to watch my team.
I mean, I must admit, I found it hard to watch it all. Because, as much as I'm a fan of his ability, the guy himself, I just find him nauseating.
So does Cal, but he still picked him.
I don't like the guy, man.
Cal's got a love-hate relationship with Neymar.
But
you don't really rate him, but he will put him in his draft. It's kind of weird. I don't really understand.
I'll tell you what happened, George, Laurie. This is what happened, basically. I chose to make a business decision because I wanted to win the draft, and Matt and Drifty haven't taken it too well. So just to give you a little flavor, I had Kaka, Zico, Neymar, Ronaldo and Pele as my players.
You sure Cruyff went in there, Cal?
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
The most narrow attack ever you've ever seen in your life. But anyway, we'll get back to that on the Friday.
Dani Alves on the fullbacks, but we move.
Liam
Kenny. Apparently, we have the third highest kit sales at nearly 2.5 million. We won't sign anyone. That 20% is a myth.
I'm starting to believe that it's a myth as well.
Yeah, I don't want to get shut down by Nike, so I'm not going to say anything. Sam Sanook says Arsenal should be doing better than Arteta, period. I agree with that, Laurie.
Absolutely. I agree with that, But you know what? It's interesting because a lot of the fan base still, I don't know if it's because of what happened with Wenger, but a lot of them are not openly calling for his head, which in a way is a good thing. So you can't complain that he's not getting the support. But I do have my reservations, put it that way.
They're just chasing fairy tales, hoping it'd be the next long term.
It's not just because of Aubameyang. There are one or two other things as well. I think tactically, he's a bit naive at times. He's not proactive. He's reactive.
I reckon he spends too much time at the hair salon and not enough time on training field. His hair is impeccable. I've got to give him that. That's the most fullest head of hair of an over 40-year-old I've ever seen in my life. It's impeccable.
Not a hint of grey, considering.
Not a hint of grey. It's impeccable.
That will change the longer he stays at Arsenal.
But let's be honest, man. He's incredibly lucky to have that Arsenal job, isn't it? Because I mean, what was his credit?
He shouldn't have had it.
In Pep's number 2, and he's been exposed to a degree. I mean, listen, he's not doing a terrible job. There was talk last week I'm sure you heard it about Arsenal supposedly offering him an extension to his contract. Now that was outrageous. I know that news has dissipated. And a lot of people were saying that, look, the way we're going right now, man, if he's not careful, he might go. I don't think that's going to happen. I would give him until the end of the season. If he doesn't qualify for Europe, then I think it's time for him to clear his desk. But some people are saying even if he doesn't get top 4, he should go. I think maybe that might be, I don't know, a little harsh. But then people are saying, listen, no European football, we're out the cups, blah, blah, blah. He should at least be getting Champions League football. I don't know.
P. Al says, who's the biggest flop? Ndombele, Pepe, or Kepa? Kepa has been the best.
Who's the biggest flop out of all three?
Pepe for the price tag.
I'd actually go Kepa, sorry. I would actually
go price tag.
Kepa actually probably should be, actually.
Based on ability, I think it's Ndombele because I think he's so talented he could be one of the best players in the world. But I'd probably say Kepa based on how the career thing happened with him getting replaced after breaking the record and all that.
He's 80 mil for a backup. Like, it's a bit.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That might be Harry Maguire next season.
I'll just say quickly that with Pepe, it's my belief that he's probably the most naturally gifted footballer at the club. It's out of him and Odegaard. But Pepe is a very talented footballer. He's not consistent, though. And sometimes his body language is not great. So I can understand why some of the fans are on his case. But I would counter that by saying that he hasn't been given a lot of love by the manager. And I think that has clearly factored into why he's not produced his best. Because on his day, man, trust me, some of the goals that guy gets, you even saw it in AFCON. He scored 2 goals and then he made an assist in that game. And he was one of Ivory Coast's best players. On his day, he's a very good player. But I don't think he's been given a fair shake at the club. Some fans would no doubt disagree with me on that, but that's what I feel.
Mr. MS says, Laurie, what happened to Vlahovic? Arsenal fans were really excited that you was linked to him.
I was never really that excited, bro. As I explained earlier, it was clear from the outset that this man was not really into coming to Arsenal. And I think if you get a guy that's like sort of hedging his bets and talking about lack of ambition and stuff, he doesn't really want to come to your club. And if you do get him, you got to be thinking he's probably only here for the money.
Yeah,
or the fact that he's in London or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. So in a way, I was kind of glad when the talk on that called. We did need a player of, don't get me wrong, he seems like he's an excellent player. And we do need someone like that desperately. But I'm not sure if that would have worked out anyway, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Repo says, here's a draft idea for us guys. 11 different clubs with 11 different nationalities. Yeah, could run.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
That is a good one.
That's a good shot. Yeah, that's a very good shot.
Ash said, who wins a game with Texas Hold'em between Levy and John W. Henry, 2 biggest bluffing conmen around. Yeah, it could be a rough one, that one. That could be a long game.
That's a long game.
that really is. You know what?
I'll tell you what, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. I'd love to be a fly on the wall if come next Monday, man, my man's not got players in through the door. Conte is probably going to let off, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? That was the perfect segue. Perfect segue into Tottenham because we're going to talk about whether Conte's got to go John Wick on Levy in 4 days' time or if he's going to get him what he wants. Now, George, we all know, especially that you tried to get him, then it didn't happen, and then eventually you did get him, that there was rules and regulations that the great man would have told Levy and the Tottenham board, if I take this job, I'm only doing it for this, and this reason. And you need to back me on this, and this. Mm-hmm. You arguably, and I do mean this like in a real talk, you arguably have the second best manager in the league. Probably third, but it's arguable second. Because if you're looking over the last, say, 5 seasons, Conte has done a madness.
In league football,
he's done a madness. So he's a tremendous coach. You guys really look like you're huffing and puffing in this window. Now, it may be because in the summertime, they're going to really be like, you know what, Conte, this is where we could do things properly. But surely with top 4 achievable, it is absolute lunacy to not, because remember, Champions League football also means Conte can bring in even better caliber players, as well as his pool in the summertime if you do make top 4. And his ambition is to win the Champions League and to win the Premier League. Talk to me, bro. What is you've already had to cancel your baby oil order from Amazon because because this man is now going to Barcelona when we all thought it was wrapped up. And I'm going to be honest with you, everyone on the panel, like Matt and Cal say, will attest to this. I rate Adama highly, so I'm not blowing smoke when I say this. I was actually a little bit worried that Conte was going to get hold of Adama and he was going to ×2, ×3 what he did with Moses at Chelsea. When we all watched him go to Chelsea, we were like, how has he got this guy, Victor Moses, playing out of his skin, winning a league, and everybody thought Moses' career was just done, like that was just it. So if he could do that with Victor Moses, I was genuinely worried what he was going to be able to do with Adama Traore. I know a lot of other people like he's got no end product and all that. I think he's such a good footballer. I just think he's not in a system that ever suits him. And I feel like if he played every week under a good coach, he'd unlearn the stupid decisions he makes and stuff. Like you can tell somebody, look, bro, see when you do that, and you can coach someone on that. And I think Conte would have been perfect to do that. So I'm actually pleased you're not getting him, bro, if I'm being honest, because I definitely think he would have improved you. But even that to the one side, bro, what's going on, bruv? Like, you have done nothing in a window that I genuinely thought you would have brought in 2 or 3 players to get ready for the summer.
That's what we all thought. The only thing I'm envious of Arsenal as well is they're actually managing to get rid of their deadwood, whereas we haven't even got rid of anyone. We haven't done anything. We've sent Jack Clark on loan to Sunderland in League One, who 3 years now we've had him and he just can't even get out of the under-23s. It's a shambles, to be honest with you. But I do think, like you said earlier, I think there is definitely a bigger picture for the summer. I think a lot of these reports, I think there's fans going way too overboard about the whole, if he doesn't get players in January, he's just going to walk in like February or March. That's definitely not going to happen. I think summer is like the big telling point because there's a lot of top players that are going to be available for free. And it's a lot easier to, everyone knows it's a lot easier to get players than anyway. But I just don't understand how we haven't come into January with a strategy. Conte had his meeting 10 days into January with the board to tell them what players need to go and which players he wants to bring in. That's a shambles. That should have happened like 3 weeks prior for them to be ready on January 1st and doing what Villa are doing and just getting any deal they needed done over the line as soon as possible. That's the annoying part about it, because if I'm being honest with you, I'm not too disheartened by the Traore deal because from the beginning I said that I don't think it's good enough. Like, I want us to be targeting players like Lamptey for right wing back, and I think he's got more about him than, in my opinion. I get it with Traore's raw pace and power and whatnot, but there are serious problems with his end product. So I don't mind that, but I think it's more the principle of the transfer not going ahead when it's taken 2 weeks for us to haggle over maybe 5 million here, or whether it's a loan or whether it's a permanent buy, to then him just go to Barcelona with, what was it, 4 days left, 5 days left now?
Yeah.
And then
Monday,
now we're scrambling to get the next player in to play there. If we do get one in this window, I think that's the problem I mainly have. Whether I want it or not doesn't matter. If that's what Conte wanted, whoever, we should have just got it over and done with. I think the difference is we weren't willing to pay, 30 million euros they've agreed for in the summer as an option to buy. We weren't even willing to agree that. We wanted it to be 20 mil. So it's just, I don't understand it, especially when we need a right wing back, 2 centre backs, but 1 for now, a central midfielder and a striker. Now these are 4 key areas, and we're not even close to signing someone in this window. We don't need all of them this window. I know that's going to be tough to do, but the fact that we're not even going to get one, like we went shopping at Fiorentina to get Vlahovic, and we're going to end up with their reserve centre mid that like it doesn't even get in their team. He's actually committed more fouls than he's won tackles in the 3 years he's been in the Serie A. These are the sort of people we're targeting. And the thing is, though, like,
sounds like Xhaka.
Well, And this is like, I get it. We're not going to get all of like these big names all the time. And to be honest with you, I think it's a bit of a myth with Conte about, yeah, you need to spend to get the players he wants, but he's not necessarily a manager that needs to have a 70 million player here, a 60 million player there. Because even if you look at his business, like you said, with Chelsea or Inter, the fact that he turned Moses, Alonso into these killer wing backs. At Inter, he signed Ashley Young to turn him into
and rejuvenated him as well.
And rejuvenated and won the league with him. And even Christian Eriksen was terrible for us for like a year and a half before he joined Inter. So it's not
Sanchez,
like his business.
He got Sanchez back playing football again,
Exactly. So it doesn't have to be these massive signings in every position.
Eric
but
Dyer.
we're not even getting the basic ones done. This is the problem that I'm having at the moment.
Well, we're having a similar problem. And I'll tell you what's interesting as well.
The same boat, to be honest.
We are. I'll tell you what's interesting as well. I can remember years gone by when London would be like a major attraction for players wanting to come in, and play in the Premier League. People say, yeah, the fact that they're in London. Now, man are going to Birmingham at Villa. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Coutinho, yeah.
If Gomes is willing to go to Newcastle over going to London just for that little bit extra money, it's different now. But
so George, here's the thing that would worry me as a Spurs fan. Conte wanted Traore.
Yeah.
Surely the board get him who he wants. Like, forget whether the fans wanted him or not.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Is that what you was going to say?
No, I was going to go in a slightly different direction. Again, George, correct me if you think I'm wrong here. And we have this argument quite a lot as Liverpool fans. Sometimes I think the transfer's out of your hands, though, because let's be honest, Adama Traore, it's not like Adama's gone to, I don't know, Everton or somewhere. Like, he's gone to Barca. Now, we all know Barca are in the mud financially or whatever. Barca's pulling power, no disrespect, George, is still bigger than Spurs.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a massive club.
He's a La Masia graduate. So that's his home. He's going back to play for possibly one of his footballing idols in Xavi. Not to mention, he wasn't keen on the idea of playing right wing back, which is where apparently he would have been positioned at Tottenham. Whereas
he definitely would have been.
At Barca, he's going to go and replace Dembele. So again, I get the frustration with Tottenham, and I would have the same frustration. But with this particular
national team as well, isn't
he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And the World Cup's coming up soon as well. So I get the frustration with George. I do. But I think had Tottenham gone out and done other business, I don't think they'd really care about this as much. I think it's because this is the main piece of business that everyone thought was getting wrapped up. But well and truly, there's nothing I don't think Tottenham could have done to stop this transfer going through.
But you say that though, because like this deal could have been done for us 2 weeks ago. Like when it first started.
That's what I was going to say.
It's not like Barcelona's offer is spectacular. Apparently, they're offering less wages. They've got a 30 million option to buy.
It's a loan.
It's a loan with an option to buy in the summer,
not an obligation.
But we don't know if there's anything happening behind the scenes, though. But look, George, I fully get it.
But it's the fact that we're not even willing to. We weren't ever willing to match that for him. Is the thing that's annoying me, because it's like. If you were never willing to match that thing for him 2 weeks ago, why have we wasted pretty much the whole of January now going after a player that seemingly was never going to come to us now then anyway, when we could have, all right, Lamptey might not have happened, but there are so many other right wing backs out there that we could have targeted and gone for, which 100% are just not going to happen now. Like, that's the problem.
Do you know what I was going to say quickly is this, you're right, because when I deep it, okay, so you wanted him to play right wing back, and then the reports come out and say he wasn't keen on the idea. But really and truly, we all know this, players will speak to agents, and they'll kind of sense out the deal whether it's going to work or not. So they must have been given a good inclination that there was a chance that he would want to come to Spurs and play right wing back. I do think more of a case of, like what George was saying, they kind of was stalling a bit, trying to decipher and trying to make out whether we're actually going to go for the guy. Bro, in the end, he probably just thought, you know what, you guys are taking long.
Yeah, you don't really want me. You're on a long
team. Do you know what it is on that?
Yeah.
You make it very quickly.
Similar to what Steven said, it was Werner in Liverpool and Chelsea.
Yeah, because George, just quickly, remember this, Imagine you reportedly put in a 15 million bid, a bid, Barcelona getting him on loan with an option to buy. Basically, he was there for the taking. You easily could have went to, if you wanted to, 20 to 25 mil. You would have got Adama. But for whatever reason, you was haggling, and I don't even understand why myself either, to be honest. If you really wanted the player,
so I think that the two things are, one, you made a good point about the stalling. Apparently, and to be honest with you, I'm happy we've got Paratici in, because I think what he's brought in for Juve over the years is phenomenal, and it's something that we don't have. Like, our recruitment is a joke; it's terrible. So I'm happy he's here, but the way he does business is he will have, everyone's saying he has like 30, 50 agents on the go messaging, and he will have multiple deals in place ready, and then they wait until the last minute to then make a decision. I guarantee you, we probably had the deal ready for Traore with Wolves, but they're waiting because he's trying to contact other players and other agents and
to
trying
see
to
if
make
he can do a bet something else somewhere.
And he's trying to make a better deal somewhere else. If not, okay, General sign Traore at the end. That has obviously cost us this time, because Barcelona have gone, fuck it, we'll just pay loan with, we'll just say 30 mil, even if they don't buy him in the summer. Like, there you go. And obviously, like you said, all the other points, like, he's going to go back to Barcelona anyway. So yeah, it's just like, I think that's kind of come back to bite us a little bit there. But I don't know.
But apart from Villa, who has done any business? I know Newcastle are on it, but who
I know, but
the club's done anything of note?
It's not like it's not possible. Like, it's impossible though, because and this is a point earlier when you were like, oh, it's hard to do in January, but I kind of disagree with that, because it's just what you're willing to spend at the end of the day. Right. Bruno Fernandes moved in January when we tried to get him in the summer. He went to Man United. You guys got Van Dijk in January. Some massive moves have happened in January if you're just willing to pay.
Well, we got Aubameyang in a January transfer.
Aubameyang in January.
You did.
What I just find strange is that, and it all feels like a bit of a smokescreen, but what I find strange is that all of a sudden we supposedly had 80 million to offer for Lautaro Martinez in the summer, but now we can't afford 20 million for Traore and then like 60 million for Diaz. All of a sudden that's not possible, even though we supposedly had 80 million ready for Lautaro Martinez in the summer before he signed a new deal. And it's kind of like, okay, we're going with Diaz. Oh, we're going to make it look like we're going after a top talent in Europe, but we're going to offer 20 million less than the asking price because we're just going to make it look like we tried, like, sort of thing. It's all a cover because the Traore deal was falling apart. We were connected with Amrabat, who's just reserve player. Oh, let's just make it look like we're trying to get a big one. Oh, sorry, it didn't happen. We'll go again in the summer. January's tough. It's just it's happened every single transfer window with Spurs now. It happened with Dybala, Bruno Fernandes. How many other big players? There's loads and loads of other top players that we could have got in these periods, and it's just never happened because we're always 5 or 10 million short of people's asking price. I think that's
it sounds like
everything you
FSG,
said
bro.
Everything you said there, George, ditto for Arsenal. We found ourselves in the same position as well. Although, to be fair, in the summer window, I thought Arsenal, there was no real marquee names, I would say. But I know Ben White was highly thought of. Why are you laughing, bro?
No,
it's the comment. It's the comment. Leaving
He's like, I need protection from the boogeyman. I've made a mistake bringing him in.
No, not you, bro. Not you.
Saying, just to be quick, the summer window, we had guys like Ben White, Lokonga, and you know what I mean, people like that. And it wasn't really like, it wasn't screaming out at you, but they have actually turned out to be good signings. Tavares, Ben White, like I said, Lokonga, and people like that. So, but other than that, man, I'm sort of also very much in the same position that George.
I think I'm just frustrated because, like,
across the line.
And it was like I said before, like, we don't have to be after world beaters. Conte doesn't always go for a world beater. Like, he just needs players that play a system the way he wants to. But we're not even doing that. Like, and like, top 4 is literally right there for the taking. And it's that catch-22 you said earlier. We need Champions League in the summer to get the better players in the summer, but we're not willing to spend the money on the players now to get Champions League. So then if we don't get it, then we're screwed for the summer anyway. So what's the point? Like,
and that's what we do as Liverpool fans, bro. Like, we've sat here so many times and we've said, if you need a player that you've got on your radar, I don't care if it costs 10 mil extra, push it forward, do it in January. You still wanted him. We're not saying to go and buy some random guy who's just going to end up in the jumble cell. We're saying if there was a guy you're willing to pay 40 mil for in the summer, pay 50 and get him 6 months earlier because you wanted him anyway. Do you get what I mean? And Liverpool, we did that with Konate and other players where it's like, why don't we just go and pay a little bit extra and get him before? Why did we go through all that worry and stress and having players miss it? Just go and buy him. And I feel like that's the problem now. What I think you lot are going to end up doing with Conte is you might still get fourth. But with the Adama Traore thing, for an example, do you know why I know Conte wanted him? Because when a Son or a Bergwijn isn't playing, he could have still played. I know you don't like Emerson at wing back, but he could have done that, and then he could have still played Traore on the wing, and it would have still been able to have the same type of effect because he's quick, because he's skillful. Even if his end product is nowhere near Son, at least you've been able to play a similar way, though. So I think Traore would have been very flexible in Conte's system. No, I reckon Conte is vexed that you've let that one go. Like personally,
he probably is.
You can tell that was the one he wanted. So I'll end it with: do you actually think Tottenham will make any signings in the January, bro?
Yeah, I think we definitely will, because we're notorious for deadline day moves. It's not going to be a pretty signings or whatever. I think we're going to get two pretty lackluster signings, and I do think Ndombele will probably go on loan to PSG for the rest of the time. There's talks of Dele Alli as well going. I don't know whether that's going to be to an Everton, to a Newcastle. I've
heard he might be leaving.
It probably will be Newcastle, because I doubt they're going to go get Lingard, because Man United were doing something stupid, like saying if you don't get relegated, you have to pay us an extra 15 mil, which is a madness. Like, I don't know how they're trying to just.
Is that what the hell?
They said for Lingard,
is that Woodward's parting gift?
They wanted them to pay full wages, 2.5 million loan fee, and if they stay up, an extra 15 mil. For a player that's leaving in the summer. So there's that's.
But Man United, so Newcastle are going to get this with everyone now, because everyone knows they've got so much money.
Yeah,
everybody's like, FSG right now have definitely got somebody playing videos of people like Nat Phillips, Origi, all that. They're sending bare videos to Newcastle like, yo, we've got these guys who we don't want anymore. Do you not want them? Like, these guys are like 20 mil and you can have them. You know what I mean? Everyone's doing that.
The problem is, I think we're just going to fall very far behind the next few years if we don't back Conte, because give it 2-3 years, Newcastle are going to overtake us. I think they're following a pretty similar model to Man City, and I think they're actually signing probably the right players. I think the way Villa are doing their business, they might even overtake us in the next couple of years if everything goes well with Stevie G. And it's like, if we don't back Conte, like I'm willing to leave it aside a little bit in January, as long as we bring a couple players in. If we don't back him properly in the summer, we're dusted. Like, there's going to be big problems with the fans and the club.
You made some very good points there about Newcastle and Villa, because that's exactly how I feel. I think if Newcastle stay up, it's trouble for people. They will have a base on which to build from. And I look at Villa and what Gerrard's doing there, and he's obviously been able to attract players. I mean, that Coutinho thing didn't go unnoticed for me. We were linked with Coutinho, and Gerrard pops up on there. I mean, just on transfers, I know I was going to mention it earlier, but it escaped my mind at the time. But Arsenal are looking at, I don't know, you probably heard of Victor Osimhen.
From Napoli striker, isn't it?
Yeah. He's a good player, not got all the baggage that Vlahovic has got. If we could get him, that might be interesting, because I think he's not necessarily prolific, but his goal scoring record is pretty good, and he's quite highly thought of.
I think he'd be quite expensive, though, because
definitely.
I'm pretty sure he signed to Napoli for like 70 mil a couple of years back.
Yeah,
I reckon he's going to cost a lot of money.
Come from Lille,
and Napoli don't sell cheap either. Napoli are probably one of the worst teams to negotiate with. To
their chairman, isn't it? He's when I say their chairman is ruthless.
Look at Koulibaly. Koulibaly was meant to be leaving for years, and they've just you ain't
going nowhere.
It's Napoli and Lyon, isn't it? They're the two where it's like you're not getting their players for cheap. Like those chairmen don't.
We say Lyon, but look at Newcastle. Newcastle got in there and looks like they're getting Bruno Guimaraes over the line, and that's a brilliant signing for them.
Yeah, that is.
That's a great signing.
I'm not being funny. He'd walk into Arsenal and Tottenham's team. Dare I say it? He could walk into Liverpool's potentially as well.
Nah, he's a talent, bro. He's a talent still. He's a player. I can't even front.
So before we move on to the other clubs who've done great business and we round up with the Premier League table, just quickly, Laurie, I don't know how you guys feel, but the only thing when I think about the Liverpool, the Arsenal fans that are saying about spending, the one thing that does confuse me a little bit though is with all the money you spend in the summer, is it? No, I was gonna say, is it not a little bit spoiled to still be moaning about signings after being a team who did do really good business in the summer? Because I think teams like Arsenal and Tottenham that are moaning, we didn't do anything in the summer either. So we're like, come on, man, can we just bloody have, like, our squad clearly needs some boosting, but you guys did good. Do you know what I mean? Is it not a little spoil of Arsenal fans to just keep going, spend money, spend money, spend money?
That's because, particularly towards the latter end of the Wenger era, we weren't really doing much business like that. And let's be honest, man. I'll be the first to admit, even if Arsenal fans don't want to admit, Liverpool are way ahead of us right now. You know what I mean? So you're starting from a much better position, and we're trying to play catch up. I mean, you've been playing Champions League, you've won Champions Leagues. We can't even get in the Champions League. You know what I mean? Even down the road at Tottenham, them man are playing Champions League before us. You know what I mean? So that's become like a holy grail for Arsenal now, just to get into the Champions League. Whereas you guys have graced the competition, you've won it, and you've kicked on. We're starting from a much lower base. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why these men have got to get their hand in their pocket. I mean, let's be honest, man. We're not really. Yes, we did have a good window in the summer. Like I said, we brought in some players. None of them were like what I call marquee names, but they've all been pretty effective at different times. So I'm happy with the signings they brought in, but they do need to get this sorted, man, because, you know what I mean, we can't afford to fall further behind, especially with, like you said a minute ago, you've got clubs like Villa and even Newcastle, if they stay out this season. Those clubs are going to be different gravy next season, man. So
with the way this window's gone, it's going to be Arsenal, Man U, and Spurs literally like trying to crawl over the line to try and get fourth. Like, we're all going to be probably drawing a game left, right, and centre, just trying to see who can beat the other team to fourth spot.
I was chatting to Jordan. I don't know if you know Jordan Jarrett Bryan the other day, and he made he does work on Channel 4 and anyway, we were talking, and he said something to me that kind of resonated with me. He goes, with Man United, they will probably score their way to a top 4 place. They haven't got a particularly good team. They're not a team as such, but they have individuals there that on any given day will score their way to victories. And that's what happened at the weekend, isn't it? You know, Rashford pops up and gets that last minute goal. And, you know, that's what they're capable of.
I tell you what's embarrassing, though.
We're not. You know what I
mean? I was on the phone to my brother today, and I could tell he needed to just get it off his chest. I was like, bro, just vent. Martial's gone severe, just vent. And Matt knows, like, Martial is my brother's guy. Like, that's
his guy, bro.
But funny enough, he was like, I just want to see him kick ball. Like, go in it. Go, like, my club obviously is dead. Don't know what they're doing. At least I get to watch him now. Do you know what I mean? But, like, when he was talking, the whole thing with, like, Man United, like, but the biggest thing I took away from the conversation is like, no, bro, this is how far we've fallen, yeah? And big up because he's probably watching. There was a 5-minute every angle from the stadium, camera angle from the stadium, replay going round trending on the Man United website when we scored that winning goal the other day. It was a tap-in, bruv. Why on earth am I seeing every angle from around the stadium from a tap-in? And I thought about it, is that bro, deep in. Rashford scores a tap-in and we are trending it on the, like, trying to get everybody to realise how cool it is that Rashford scored a goal.
They're in the mud, though.
And it was a tap-in. And I just thought, raw, Man United really have fallen from grace, innit? Like,
they have.
It's mad.
To be honest, I think that their admin's a bit dodgy, because they what was that tweet they did the other? They was like, "Oh, how many times have you said Sue today?" And it's just like, didn't you just like lose the other day or draw the other day? You know, you're like trying to
they haven't fallen far enough yet. They haven't fallen far enough yet. I want to see the demise televised.
Let's be real. At the start of the season, when Man United signed Cristiano Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho, everyone was genuinely saying they should challenge. Everyone was genuinely thinking they should challenge.
I thought
no one, I don't think anyone sat here and said they're gonna win the title, but everyone's like, nah, they'll challenge. There'll be a problem. There'll be a problem for everyone, right? There'll be that team where, you know, they're gonna do something, bro.
They should still be in the fight now, Matt, basically.
Yeah, they have done nothing. Listen, big up Jadon Sancho. Yeah. Cal knows why. That's our guy. But big him up anyway, but he hasn't done well. He hasn't. The price tag and everything, he hasn't done well, right? Fair. So that's one transfer. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored goals, but Man United fans and whatever, there's a bit of a dispute on whether he's the problem or not. Then you've got Varane, who
Europa League Varane.
No, let me know. Varane looks good when he's not playing with Maguire, who's their most expensive centre back, who's supposed to be the senior centre back. Bro, let me say this: they are in a mess. They're in a mess. You want to know why? Because there's no plan in place. There's no plan. So it's all right buying all these players, but how was you going to fit them in? For starters, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, like, I don't even know where to begin with that guy. Obviously, what he done and what he left, bro.
Well, Matt, do you want to know something? You see Ralph Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Yeah, because it's going to implode at some point. He's not Ragnick. He's Ragnarok.
Everywhere, fam. Yeah.
What? Apparently, they might actually keep him because nobody's actually accepting the job. So he might actually be the manager next year.
If that's the case,
you know what mum used to tell me when good news come true? God not asleep, you know, son. God not asleep.
You know what? I think that job's Pochettino's, man. I think Pochettino will go there.
I think Pochettino will go there as well, to be honest with you.
Well, that would depend on what he does this year, though, right? If he does well with PSG, he might not leave. You know what I mean? There's a lot depending on it, man.
I think the PSG was because he'd been out of work. He knew that if he goes there, he's going to win a couple of things. Because that's the thing about Pochettino. I used to argue with Toby of Tapping Toes about it. Shout out to him if he's watching.
Big up Tapping Toes.
Yeah.
So man.
He would tell me what a great manager Pochettino is. And to wind him up, I'd also say, yeah, thanks, Toby. Now tell me what he's won. You know what I mean? And he's not won nothing. I'm like, bro, you're calling this guy an elite manager. He's clearly a good manager. But how could you dare to put him in that elite status when he's not even won a League Cup? Now, it's my contention that one of the main reasons why he's gone to PSG, obviously he's been out of work for a while and it's good to be in work. But he also knows that he's going to win a couple things there. The title there, cup, whatever. He maybe even do well in the Champions League. But I think ultimately the United job is the one he covets. I don't know what George thinks, but that's what I think.
No, I think he was always destined for it. We had like clauses in him being sacked for whatever reason. That's why he wasn't in work for a year, because if he joined someone else in that year, he wouldn't get his full payout. And there was something else as well, as if he went to another Prem team, he also wouldn't get paid either for being sacked. So I think that's the reason why he didn't go Man U in the first place. And then for whatever reason, Man U gave Ole an extension on his contract, which was a madness. So I think he's always been destined to go Man United, to be honest with you. And I think he will go there after PSG.
Well, even if it's a case of to his senses.
Even if it's a case of Rangnick stays there for maybe half a season extra, just so that they can get Poch if he gets sacked or if they don't do well or whatever whatever the cases may be. But his contract's up at PSG next year anyway, I think.
But look at this, yeah. You look at like the top 6-7 clubs and look at their managers, okay? City, Pep, Liverpool, Klopp, Chelsea, Tuchel, Man United, okay, Rangnick, West Ham, Moyes, Arsenal, Arteta, Tottenham, Conte. Which manager would you say is the least talented out of all those in terms of managing teams and experience and all that? It's going to have to be Arteta, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Even I would say that Moyes is a better manager than him. You know what I mean?
I think Moyes is one of the most disrespected managers in the league, personally.
Yeah. And I've personally
not wrong there.
So I'll forget all of that too.
But when you lash out at people and do what you do, you know?
No, but if we're keeping it 100 as Arsenal fans, our manager is probably the least talented. Okay, we can put caveats in and say, you know, come on, Laurie, he's only been at Arsenal a couple of years. It's his first top flight job. But nevertheless, he is probably the least talented out of all of those. So we're already behind the 8 ball, bro. You know what I mean? Put that out there. We're already behind that. And that's one of the reasons why I do not think, and some Arsenal fans watching this probably going to hate on me for saying this, but I would not put my money on Arsenal finishing that top 4. If you say top 6, yeah. I mean, you got to look at it. The last 2 seasons we finished 8th and 8th. We got rid of Emery for that, bro. You know what I mean? So
he finished 5th.
Yeah.
You got rid of Emery and he finished 5th.
Yeah.
All hell, King Emery. Man went and slewed Arsenal and Man United in the same European. Yeah. He's the G. I don't care what anyone says. Emery is a GOAT.
Done a lot.
He owns that trophy. I swear to God. Like
4 times.
He's got
He's
shares
won
in
that trophy
as we
4
found out to
times.
our cost. Remember?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like that is levels.
And
That
big
is
ups to him, man, because when he beat us in that competition, man, he showed a lot of class. He could have done a Mourinho and 1 or 2 other man and rubbed it in. Or, you know what I mean? But he didn't. He kept it moving, you know? You know.
It's going to be very interesting. So I'm just going to go on the panel quickly before we move on to the few super chats we've got saved, and then obviously bring up the fantasy league. Who do you guys? I'm going to start with you, Matt. Who do you think has done the best business so far in the transfer window?
It's got to be Aston Villa. I think Digne and Coutinho were crucial for them. However, I think that question is still kind of not over, because if Newcastle get in Bruno Gomes and are able to get in like another centre back, I know his list like Diego Carlos is done, but if they get, I think it's between Newcastle and Aston Villa in terms of if Newcastle do some business, but I'm gonna say Aston Villa, because let's be real, Gerrard knew what he needed. He needed another magician. He got him. And then he was like, let me get a left back who I know is quality. And look at Luca Digne. His first game, bro, he done more in his first game than he's done for Everton the whole season, bro, because of the whole fallout with Benitez. Gerrard knows what he's doing. I'm going with Villa, man. You have to get
Agent Benitez. Are you mad?
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. Benitez knows what he's doing as well.
Rafa.
Straight Denzel Washington. Man's left them. If Newcastle win,
they got Callum Chambers.
They're below Newcastle, and apparently they're officially like in the relegation battle. He is an absolute
they're only 4
genius.
points off of it, I think.
Long live Agent Rafa. Are you mad? Cal, who would you say has done the best business so far, bro?
Yeah, I've got to echo Matt, not to copy him, but Villa as things stand, but Newcastle could be the team that just blows things wide open in terms of who's won this window as such. Villa have done good business, and look, even Callum Chambers, I know we take the mick out of him sometimes, but to go there and be covered for centre back and right back for them, it's smart business. £2 million as well, smart business for Aston Villa.
He's Villa level, isn't it? We always used to laugh because he's not Arsenal level, but he's definitely Villa level.
Here's the thing: he won't be a starter.
He won't even start. Yeah,
he won't be a starter at Villa because obviously they got Matty Cash at right back and they've got Konza and Mings at centre back, but he's an option. And he's a good backup to cover 2 positions for a side like Villa. Villa have done well. If they can keep Douglas Luiz, because if I'm not mistaken, I think Arsenal are trying to get Douglas Luiz at the moment.
Yeah, we've been linked with him. Yeah.
If they can keep Douglas Luiz, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and add 1 more player before the end of the window.
Well, everything's rumoured for Suarez to potentially go to Villa as well.
Rumours
would be
really
if that happens.
Yeah,
it would be nuts.
My man's bringing the old school back.
And it man wants to bring the band back, you know.
That's mad.
One last ride.
George, who would you say has done the best so far, bro?
I'll agree with Villa, but I do love like the shithousery from Newcastle of just signing what's his face from Burnley.
Oh,
Chris Wood. Just like it's just a double move, isn't it? You're getting a striker and you're relegating your nearest rivals, your nearest team.
Yeah.
I think that's genius. And I remember saying in the chat as well. I don't know how they haven't gone for Pope yet, because one, that improves their goalkeeper, and again, same sort of situation. It makes their rivals weaker and hopefully secures their place in the Premier League next year. So I think their business has been very smart, but overall, I think Villa has definitely been the best so far.
Laurie, just to round up, who would you say?
Yeah, I've got to go with the guys on this one, man. If you ask me that question straight away, I'm going to say Villa. I think probably a more pertinent question is who's done the worst. You know what I mean?
Don't be us. We ain't done nothing.
We ain't done nothing.
We ain't done nothing.
I think we're slightly ahead of Tottenham because at least we've been managed to get rid of a few dead wood, like your Kolasinacs of this world and people like that. So, but then we've let people like Maitland-Niles go, which I think is a mistake, given that problems that we currently have in midfield. I mean, do you know that Maitland-Niles' last game for us, so he was man of the match for us?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember that.
And then he didn't play again since, and now he's gone again in slightly dubious circumstances. And we're, you know what I mean, begging El Neni to come back from AFCON. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, man. I mean, hey, I mean, listen, there's still a few days to go. I mean, listen, we can get Victor Omishan, if we can get Luiz from Villa, you know what I mean? It might turn out okay because both those guys are good players and we do need players in those positions. So it's still not I'm sure Arsenal, Tottenham, all of the clubs are right till the very end. You know what I mean?
No, not
Monday is going to be very, very busy.
No.
Remember those interviews Harry used to do with the window down? Yeah, I've just
got crunch card back.
Yeah, I miss those days, man. You know what I mean?
Well, at least you lot are still kind of clamoring. Me, Cal, and Matt know we're going to see at 11 a.m. It's going to say, do you know what? Everyone's already gone home. Training's finished. And, they don't even send anybody to Anfield anymore. You know, when there was Sky Sports will always designate people around the country. They don't even waste the train journey. Yeah, they don't even waste the train journey to Anfield.
He's doing a work from home day.
About Liverpool, Klopp doesn't really kick off though, does he? Is he complicit in that then, or what?
We need another 2-3 hours, Laurie, for that one.
I've been saying. But from the outside looking in, he doesn't seem that aggrieved about it, does he?
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't, bro, and that's what we're worried about.
Oh, I see. Right.
That's what we're worried about. Like, we'd need another 3 hours.
He's one of those managers who think that they can turn silver into gold and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, he does, but we can't do that when you're chasing a team that don't even drop points. You know what I mean? So it's one of them. Like, look, they drew with Southampton to flirt with everyone. Oh, you don't think you can catch us? Yeah, I reckon Pep did it on purpose. He's like, it's getting boring now, isn't it? Let's give everyone a little, I can see the light dimming in everybody's eyes. Let's just give everyone a little fake glimmer of hope.
I like that comment he made after the game. He actually managed to say it with a straight face as well. When he said
that's what. Yeah, he did it. He's like, that was our best game of the season so far. It's like, bro, allow it.
By far. More than you can believe. More than you can believe. By far.
More than you believe. We cannot replace him. We
cannot replace him.
Oh my God!
The thing about Pep is though, right? He's such a good manager that you can't even really diss him. You know what I mean? When he says,
that's what I mean. Like, but basically, all we're doing is we're teasing the bully, but we realise we're just all the people who get bullied. So as soon as it comes around the corner like Debo, everyone's gonna shut up. You can't do anything to him. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
he would just come around and throw a wad of cash in your face, and tell you to sit down right in front of you,
and tell you to pick it up to give back to him.
Give back to him. And add more on top of it.
Oh,
you know what though? I know this. I'm digressing slightly, and I know it would never happen, but it's worth thinking. I would love for a couple of seasons for the Premier League to have, I have in America with the draft, where instead of the money man getting the best players they go in rotation or to certain club, and then we'd really see who the better managers are in it. Don't you think?
It's a good shout.
It would never happen.
We would. I think that's the only way the people like Graham Potter would truly be allowed to have a chance, because I don't think anybody will ever give him a Man U job, or do you know what I mean? And he's clearly showing he actually probably is.
The only problem is every academy would have to be neutral. Like the clubs wouldn't have academies because they've all got to come from somewhere neutral, right? To have Newcastle get first pick next year sort of thing.
It'd have to be more like Sutton United. It would be like their best ever player, innit? That it would be like that. Like it would be,
But you imagine, say, like a Declan Rice, and say, hypothetically speaking, and then he ends up at Southampton rather than going to City or Chelsea, or you know what I mean? That would be really interesting.
It would be interesting to see what happens.
That'd be kind of mad.
Yeah.
Well, what would make that quite interesting would be if a player was under 19 or under 20 or something, and if he couldn't sign a deal with the club he came through at, he went into a draft. Maybe something like that, where it's like, do you want to stay at West Ham? All right, well then you got to go into a draft. That could be maybe a way they could do it. Other than that, I don't really know how they could do it, but it would be interesting, that's for sure.
It would be.
But then you just get teams deliberately losing so they could get the best pick like they do in the NBA, isn't it?
No, it's true.
You know what I
mean? It's not going to happen by a mile, but I hope we sign Diaz just so we beat him just so we beat you guys to him.
I'm not gonna lie. I can see Diaz going somewhere like Chelsea.
Probably.
Cal just came in and just ripped you up.
I don't know. We ain't getting him. I don't think we're getting him.
I can see it happening.
But I guess with the Chelsea thing, talking of Chelsea, the Lukaku signing shows that it's not always money, is it? I mean, look, 97 million, man, and he's not working out, is it? And I don't think it's going to work out neither for him.
No, I don't think so.
They put too much of that waterproofing spray on his Timbs, man. The ball just keeps slipping off.
He's twerking to go back to Inter don't want to hear it.
You know what I mean? But Cal, we got any super chats we got to get through, bro?
Indeed. Sam Sanook says Liverpool wanted Pepe. Arteta can't manage egos.
We did want him.
I don't know about the first bit, but the latter bit's definitely true.
Yeah, we actually didn't want Pepe. That was fabricated rumor.
I thought it would, but fair.
No, we didn't. Eagle-eyed Football says Paul Jan signing is Kevin Friend. Big up. Base Face in Space says Tottenham and Liverpool have opposite transfer issues. Too much money and no appeal. We have appeal and no money.
I disagree. We have no money and no appeal. I don't know what you're talking about there.
Yeah, so I didn't want to say it.
No. I was giving me hope there. I was like, wait a
minute. Friend is awful. Loving the Liverpool faux outrage. Yeah, we got a result. Aldrin says LFC's transfer for striker in the summer options. 1 Haaland, 2 Darwin Núñez. Good players. Tottenham can buy Nat Phillips. Top team proven and can play under pressure.
Is it me? But did I hear Haaland on Sky flirting with the Premier League yesterday?
Yeah.
But he said talk is this Real Madrid though, guys. You know.
He said he likes English the English fans and the full stadiums.
Yeah.
So that rules Man City out.
I'm not gonna. That sounds like he's flirting with us. Maybe I'm putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5, but sounds like he's flirting with us. I'm not gonna lie.
No, if he comes to the Premier League, surely it'll be City, won't it, with his dad?
Yeah. Cal, including the agent fees and the wages, it's a £200 million package. We ain't doing nothing like that, bro.
I think it's Man City, Man U, or Real Madrid.
Real Madrid are getting Pogba and Mbappe for free, and they're going to buy Haaland, and it's going to be a madness in Madrid.
Listen, Carl, I hate to break it to you. We are not getting Haaland. Like, just never. Do you know
like how you never ask your mum for a Reebok pump because they're £135? That's us trying to get Haaland. It's not happening, bro.
We've got a better chance of re-signing this guy.
Yeah, we actually do.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll take that right now.
We've got a better chance of re-signing Origi than we get Haaland.
I hope you didn't tell your little one Santa weren't real this Christmas, bro. Because you seem like one of them brothers. I really hope you did.
Never mind that.
I would never do that. I would never do that.
Do you think you'll retain the services of Salah, though? Because, I mean, you still haven't sorted
Laurie came in there and shut up the place, boy. All right, Laurie.
We thought that was going to be our January signing, Laurie. We thought that was what it was.
Man, what I want, it's up to you, man, to sort it out. So if he gets back from AFCON, it ain't sorted, man. Say, all right, cool. Watch till summer comes.
Yeah. We thought that was going to be our January signing, and they ain't even done that.
Yeah.
Salah's staying, man, and Haaland's coming. Selection says, I feel so sick that Diaz might go Spurs.
It's not. I promise you, it won't happen. It's going to be another one. It's genuinely going to be another one of those like, oh, we could have got him, but we were 4 million out. I'm hearing. Like, nah, not happening.
Right. Jamrock says, is Vlahovic deal finalized yet? Because his agent is asking for 12 to 18 mil, and he wants to have a lower release clause and also a percentage of the sell-on fee.
Deal's done.
No idea about all of that.
75 million euros done.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's off to Fiorentina.
He's gone.
I mean, sorry, he's off to
Juventus.
Yeah. Players are definitely smartening up though, and not letting clubs put £400 million buyouts in. That means that they can't.
And
go
rightly
anywhere.
So. They want to be in charge of their own destiny, so to speak.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And that means Morata's going to move as well, probably from Juve.
Again, he's literally money laundered. He's money laundered. Morata's the guy who cleans the money, innit?
Arsenal need a striker.
That's all right. We'll pass on that one.
Klopp is like Denzel going around. Man is equalizer. Without Klopp, we are Spurs and Arsenal. 2015 wasn't that long ago. We were dead.
You know what? I don't hate on that comment. You know, I love Klopp as a manager. I think he's excellent.
I think he's
good.
Apparently, Bruno to Newcastle.
Gamera's just done. Surely not
done.
Boy.
LFC Aaron says, since when was Kaka a striker? I don't know. You'll have to ask Matt about that one. He plays in midfield in my team. Ash says, when I see Maguire and Varane, it's just wrong. It's like having a Whirlpool fridge and a Smeg toaster. It just looks wrong.
but ain't Smeg and Whirlpool both good brands? You needed to be like, I don't know, like having a Bush toaster or something. I don't know.
The Icy Yeti says, number one, guys, where do you predict Mbappe and Haaland will end up this summer? Do you think Vlahovic will fulfill his potential at Juve?
Yeah.
Mbappe goes Real Madrid, Haaland goes to Liverpool.
I think Mbappe goes Real Madrid. I don't know where Haaland goes though. Not sure.
Mbappe's on the record as saying that he's been a boyhood Madrid fan, isn't it?
Yeah.
And unlike some guys who say that, have you ever noticed some of these players? They rock up at a club and say, "Yeah, I was always a boyhood fan of Chelsea." Yeah, right.
I can't wait.
The one that gets me is I was a boyhood fan of City. Innit?
You know that's a lie. Oh my God. If you're older than 12 years old, you was not a City fan as a kid.
Exactly.
I cannot wait for the Newcastle ones. It's going to be great.
The hashtag Newcastle jealousy's already started. Get used to this, guys, because this is going to become a regular thing now where they're getting players that we all want.
Something now, like, I actually hope that Newcastle do become a force. I think it's good for the Premier League. I really do.
You know what? I actually said of all the teams that kind of deserved like a big sort of backing, I genuinely thought it'd be them. Like they've got some serious fan base and
man.
So
and let's be honest, right? Newcastle are one of those clubs that I can never really hate on. There's something about that. They have a certain aura. That, you know what I mean? And listen,
to be honest, that I was just say that City just lives and breathes football. Like their club is mad. Yeah. Like it's very rare now that you have a whole city that's just dedicated to one team, and it's just like it's a mad.
I guess Leeds springs to mind, but even Leeds don't have that same kind of aura to me that Newcastle.
I was just about to say. No, I was just saying with the comments about Alisson getting a red card. I was just going to say, not only do we not have a right wing back, Emerson got sent off for Brazil as well. No, we're not looking any good at all with that right back.
That's Agent Ali. He wants a couple of days off, man. Big him up, man. He wants a couple of days off. I was looking
at Emerson the other day. That guy's got the skinniest legs of any. You know, normally footballers' legs are massive, innit?
Yeah.
Seriously, next time you watch Emerson, look at that guy's legs, man. They're like bandy sticks, man.
I always worried about Peter Crouch with that. I always used to think, bro, don't go in for tackles, man. Your leg could snap at any moment.
Normally, most footballers, their quads and their calves and their, Grealish is an example, but there's enough man who've got massive legs, even when they're quite slim built. Emerson, his legs are like that, bro. I think they might have to check his passport as well, man. I think you should have said Bolivian, not Brazilian. From Brazil, bro.
Were you saying him and Joe Linton have got the same passport hookup? Is that what you're saying, Laurie?
That's the agent. You know, you get these agents, man. They're very clever.
Joe Linton has proven he's Brazilian. Now he's in midfield, bro. What are you talking about?
He's not. Let's not go too far.
I know, but he's looking naughty in midfield,
region. What?
He's Peruvian now. He's Peruvian now.
Hey, bro, Peruvians are bad boys, bro.
Hey, you can't laugh at Peru, you know. They beat Jamaica 3-0 the other day.
That's true. I don't want to bring out Laurie, man.
I was laughing. I was laughing my head off when Nigeria got beaten, man. And then man was like, "Yeah, but you lot can't. Look at you lot. Got smashed 3-0 by Peru." I was like, "Yeah, but at least Peru, I've got a history in football."
Hey, listen, I'm Cypriot. I can't even be in any sort of conversation when it comes to national football. In that sense, boy.
LFC Aaron says, for the Liverpool lads, Dybala, not for me. Matt Drift.
For free, yeah.
I'm not sure on him. I'm not sure. I don't think he'll fit the way Klopp wants to play, but he's a talent.
He's a good signing for someone. Well, he's basically he's a direct replacement for Firmino, sure.
I hear that, but he's got to fit though, innit? He's got to fit the system.
That's blasphemy on his channel, George. That's blasphemy on his channel. Zabiri says, is there a governing body for FPL? Needs fair play. Struggling, Zabiri, yeah, we know the feeling.
Well, you know, it's interesting that we've been talking about transfers and signings and all that. It could be argued, and again, I know some Arsenal man are going to come for me, but it's the truth. arguably Tottenham made one of the biggest signings by getting Conte, because that, I don't know how they pulled that off, but that was a bit of a masterstroke.
Got to back him though, otherwise it's all going to.
Yeah, you got to back him. I mean, if we back him, then
we back him. We could be serious. We could next year.
I think we're all in agreement, man, that he is a top manager, top manager. So
basically, Tottenham took him to Nando's on the first date, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he just walked out. He didn't even let them order anything. So they knew that next time it had to be like a Sexy Fish or one of those big boy up west restaurants. So it was like, all right, are you going to stay long enough so we can talk? All right, cool. And then finally they managed to get a second date. That's exactly what happened.
We took him to Nando's, but made him make the order and pay while we went to the toilet. It's sort of what happened.
But how United let that slip through their fingers? That's why I think that
they were too slow second Ollie.
Pochettino's destined for United, because by all accounts they were close with Conte, innit? So the fact that they never got that across the line suggests to me that really they want Pochettino, because we know that Conte is supposed to be a bit of a hard taskmaster. So maybe they felt that weren't quite fit. Not just a hard taskmaster with the players, I might add, but with the board as well. So maybe they felt Pochettino might be a little bit more workable. You know what I'm saying?
Man U's owners are similar to ours, where they just want a yes man. They want a yes man as their manager, and kind of just.
That's why goes with Arteta. Why do you think Arteta's still there, bro? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Man. You know what I mean? He's not gonna push those buttons that one of them other man would and say, "Listen, I demand this or I want that." He's gonna go in and say, "Please, Mr. Kroenke, the guy called Vlad, if we could only." We're hovering around top 4. If we could get him, and Kroenke's, we'll look at it. We'll speak to you. Yeah, thanks. We'll let you know, Mikel. Whereas my man Conte, he'll be kicking down the door and saying, "Yo, I want this."
Don't call me. I'll call you, sort of vibe.
Yeah. But Pochettino wasn't a yes man as a player, so I'm quite surprised that he's becoming a bit like that as a manager.
He was
a hard man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm really shocked that he's kind of letting himself be that guy who looked at that as a manager.
But he never had
like that life, you know. Levy's about that life. Don't be.
He never had like a big role before us, though. Really, what was it, Southampton and Espanyol? So I guess he didn't really have the sort of
that's true.
He had to deal with the crap that we had at the beginning, turn them into good players, and now he's kind of got a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the point, because Spurs would have gave him that elevation. Because what was he? Espanyol and Southampton before?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
It's a bit like Arteta. Like I said, he may one day go on to be a good manager. Yeah. But Arsenal is the starting point. So you're not going to see him at his best, I don't think.
Yeah. That's what
Gerrard now, look how self-assured Gerrard looks. The way he carries himself. He has that certain swagger.
Got an aura.
That's because he's done his little bit at Rangers. He's cut his teeth there. He's done well. Now the man's sticking out his chest and say, "Yeah, I could walk into Villa," and you know what I mean. Arteta doesn't have that, and that's probably why he's gone to. He reminds me, Arteta, of one of them kids at school that got bullied when he was at school. Now he's in a position of authority. Now he's trying to bully next man. That's what he's doing with Aubameyang. Whereas with Gerrard, even as a player, as a manager, he's earned that. So now he walks with that self-assurance, that swagger, that status, and the players are looking at him thinking, "Oh man, can't mess with Stevie G. He's done it all." You know,
Arteta's that he's that nerd at school that's now like 500k a year, like IT role, like feeling like a boss. And then
have you ever seen this man? Right? When you watch another Arsenal game, right? When you watch another Arsenal game, just do a little camera watch on Arteta, the way he's micromanaging the players from the touchline. Now I hate that, you know. You don't see other managers doing it to that extent. They may, if a player's not following instructions, you may see them shout at them and all. But a man will run over to pick up the ball for a throw, and you see Arteta pushing him, throw it to him. You do that. I'm thinking, yo, bro, too much information. These guys are footballers, man.
Let them play in it.
Let them play. Simplify the team. Let them express themselves. He's here. Thinking, yo, come on, man.
Yeah, anyway. We've all worked for a manager or a supervisor where you're like, yeah, he got bullied at school, 100%. 100% he got bullied at school because he's throwing his weight around right now. And if we were outside of work, we've all had that guy. We all have.
And I'm conscious that I'm coming over as a bit of an Arteta hater, which I'm not, because I have.
Bro, this is, bro, if there's any place you want to do that, Laurie,
you're safe here, Laurie. You're safe here.
Yeah, this is a safe haven, bro. And if you want to transfer, bro, look, we got the paperwork. We just sign that up, brother. You can become Liverpool Laurie, bro. It's any time you want, bro. Just let us know, bro.
More signings than Liverpool.
No, man. I'm going to stay my team, but I'm just expressing my frustrations here. You know what I mean?
Ash says Burnley selling Wood and bringing in Orsic and Verghorst might turn out to be very, very smart. George will know Orsic well.
That motherfucker, man. That guy single-handedly knocked us out of the Europa League last year. How funny is it that now that Brexit's actually happened in real life, now Sean Dyche is like going into Europe? What's going on?
Real talk.
That's facts, bro. That's facts.
Yeah, I do know. I ain't doing no Dyke impressions right now, man. He's coming through still. He's bringing the man them through at the moment. Selection says Brazil down to 9 man. Alisson got sent off. Apparently, Alisson's red card's been overturned.
Yeah, bro. VAR, innit? It's been overturned. That's what I read as well.
Who are they playing?
No idea, actually.
I'm not even sure.
Is it just a friendly?
Ecuador. Okay. Ecuador.
Alex George says had a dream Salah went to Real Madrid on the free.
Yo,
wake up, George.
Yeah,
wake up, Alex George.
Yeah, he's an Arsenal fan for a little context.
Yeah. Sam Max Legend says Spurs had to take Conte to the cut at Dorchester Hotel. Been there, top place for steak. Levy was crying when he had to pay the bill.
100%.
No, not even. He took out another loan from the Bank of England. Paid off with that. It's easy. Have you seen as well, very quickly, by the way, that we've somehow managed to get permission to build a cinema and flats around the stadium, but we can't buy players.
Oh, wow.
No, I didn't.
You know what? That's beginning to sound dangerously like the Arsenal model. That stadium.
No, which is what I said we should never do, and we're literally copying you like directly, and it's like, well,
it's
are we supposed to learn from this?
A ring about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Samsonuk says best right backs are always compared to Trent.
Always.
Zabiri
that guy's
says,
a baller, man. I rate that guy, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laurie.
No.
Thank you.
No, you know what I mean. It's real. It's a good.
Who doesn't say?
You know what, Laurie and George? I know you guys are having problems with your clubs at the moment. We'll speak after the show. You don't have to admit it on live. We've got a little something for you both because we want to see you guys happy. You both talk sense and Laurie.
Oh, but Saka though, man, he would get in your team as well. Come on, man.
Look again, Laurie. We're gonna have to coach that out of you when you become a Liverpool fan. Yeah, we'll talk. I see some real potential with you two. I'm not
with Ramsdale, by the way.
Maybe we'll put you on trial, Laurie. Maybe we'll maybe I'm not ready just yet.
Actually, you know what? He's the one I neglected to mention earlier. Big up Ramsdale, because when he came to the club, I was telling my boy Drifty about this when I was on the show last time. The amount of negativity that I was like, yo, give the man. And there was man's come from Sheffield United. I goes, yeah, but he would have obviously had enough work. You know what I mean? The fact that he was in the England setup tells you that there's a keeper in there, you know what I mean? And lo and behold, he's come to Arsenal and everyone loves him now, you know what I mean? So that transfer window, Ramsdale, Lokonga, Ben White, Tavares, all those guys. I know Tavares had his little issues the last couple of weeks. So was Sambi, but overall, that was a good window for us. Shame we're not seeing that this time. Right.
Zabiri says Kopish doing FPL and Marquet on top for weeks. Suspicious, if you ask me, especially when man like Scoop on Football got the scoop. We need to investigate. Ash says, Laurie, you speak facts. First time I've seen you, top man, good football knowledge and common sense. Leave them fools enjoying the red. See, it's not just me spotting their talent.
Laurie's being scouted right now, bro.
Laurie's fully scouted.
My whole family.
I'm bring Martinelli with you, bro.
Yeah. Martinelli is a wicked player, man.
As I said, Laurie, we'll speak off camera. It's very unfair to put you on the spot on camera.
Very unprofessional to have these type of conversations.
What are we talking? Loan with option to buy obligation.
All I'm saying, we saw Klopp and Van Dijk in Blackpool, innit? That's all I'm saying. We get our man if we really want him.
You know, there's gonna be bare snaps of like Cal with like George and Laurie like this with ice cream, like, oh shit.
Listen, you'll never see me in red unless it's something to do with England or Ferrari. The only time you'll see me in red.
Oh, I like when he dropped that last bit in there.
Pogba said he'd never go back to Man United as well, George. And look where we are now, bro. He's ready to leave him again, bro.
What do you guys think of Pogba? I mean, I think he's an outstanding player.
I still think he's a great player.
Great talent.
The Man U setup is just.
I think he's at the wrong club, though. He's at the wrong club.
Yeah, I think
he's a moments
He's at the wrong
player.
club.
He's never a player that's going to dominate a 90 minutes. He's a moments player, but he's a phenomenal moments player. But he needs people around him to allow him to have those moments. He'll never dominate a game by himself on a regular basis.
No, but that's not what he is. That's not what he is.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He needs Kantes and people like that around him.
Yeah.
What I will say is I think our prime Dembele was what everyone thought Pogba should be for Man United. I think that's.
No, that's a player I enjoyed watching, bro. It pains me.
I think Dembele went under the radar massively because he wasn't like a flashy player or anything. Like no one really spoke about him.
Special footballer.
He just did his thing.
Yeah.
Before we do the FPL as well, Luke Ramley said it was my birthday yesterday. Any chance of getting that beat drop? Kopish brothers as well as George and Laurie have been following you since the football banter days. Luke, happy birthday, and we will drop the beat for you, bro. Happy birthday.
Big up, man.
It just hit me. If we sell Salah, we're actually gonna have to change the visuals on that birthday.
If we sell Salah, I'm selling my shares in Kopish. Are you mad?
We cannot replace him. We cannot replace him.
Before we move on, just bring out the FPL for me, please, Matt, so we can just continue to watch George Man City in this league.
What can I say?
Yeah,
I had Everton knock in the other day, Watford as well, but they decided to go with Roy Hodgson. Understandable with his experience.
Oh, right. That bar is really bad, isn't it?
Madness. Man City out here.
If zoom in just a little bit more for me, please, Matt, so that people can clearly see how far George is ahead of everyone.
No, I'm in the mud.
Yeah, George is. You know what? KG was creeping up on him, but he does seem to have extended his lead again at the top.
I'm in the mud. I didn't even realize mine was doing that bad.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot 1 week, and that's when I'm not gonna.
None of you lot even told me, pulled me to a side or nothing. It was like,
no. But you lot are realizing how bad of a week I had.
No, I had
a terrible week. I got 2 red cards, I think, and 3 players didn't play. I had a bad week, man. Bad week. And Lewis is officially bottom. That is madness. I just realized.
Lewis is getting relegated.
I can't wait to see him in the Spurs top.
That means remember, Aaron was at the bottom for time.
Yeah, Aaron was actually at the bottom, and it looks like Lewis is the one putting on the Spurs shirt. This is going to be a madness.
Aaron did a derby. He had like a 50-point deduction because he kept on making transfers and somehow still come out of.
That is crazy. But Cal, you got to fix up, brother.
Yeah, I know, man.
You're not doing too well, bro. Not doing too well. But yeah,
no, don't let him do you like that, Cal. Just because he's in third place.
I can't even. What can I say back to him? I can't even talk bad back to him. No,
like but right now you're in Europa, but you just got to try and get into Champions League. And
let's be honest, I'm looking really shaky, brother. Like I'm Arteta right now, bro.
Oh, I'm at least getting third. I'm at least getting third.
Oh, well, you're coming for me? Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, man. This is the first week. I think you've been heading about 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah,
I've been ahead of you the majority of the time, big man. What are we talking about?
No. We can go back week by week. Do you want to go back week by week? You sure?
I mean, you can if you want.
You sure?
You can if you want, but we'll have to do that in private, or maybe do it for the members because we can't bore everyone with your blasphemy.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Big up George. He's doing a Man City. He's running away with this one. So it looks like he will be the one. He's getting the prizes at the end of the season. Unless KG can pull off a madness. But guys, you had us for an extra 20 minutes or so. So big up everyone who joined in. Big up Laurie and George as always, man. Pleasure having you guys.
Where shall I send these to, Drifty?
I'll come collect it when we sign you up for Liverpool, Laurie.
Yeah, there you
We run such a big club, but they can't get their COVID testing kits.
I tell you what we do. Since you seem to be loaning players out, even though you're pretending you've got injuries, when we take Martinelli, give them to him and he can bring them with him. Because in the next 6 to 8, 12 months, I do think we're going to have a serious conversation about Klopp taking Martinelli. I genuinely do, because he adores the kid. Yeah, he's only got 2 years left, bro.
Putting them little things out there, yeah, what a great
2 years left on his deal. Klopp's an admirer. He's only 20 years old, fits the PSG model. I seriously think you boys better watch out for Klopp taking Martinelli.
He's got longer on his contract than that, I think, Drift.
I know. It ain't him and Saka only got 2 years left?
No, I don't think so. I think it's 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, I wouldn't like to.
I heard it was 2, bro.
But I can't see
Martinelli
going anytime soon, man. I can't see it.
I see him go back to Spain.
He's always expressing his love for us.
Also going to Spain.
You know what I mean? And if they were to lose him, if
Klopp wants you,
that person said he loved you and they rocked up at United, bro.
Is that
footballers lie all the time, bro?
It's 2 years, bro.
Yeah, that's
People
true.
are saying.
Just look at
people in the comments are saying
when
2 years,
when
Cal.
it,
It's 2 years. I'm telling you.
I shouldn't be naive and think it could never happen, but for the time being, I think
2 years left. I'll have a bit.
It's 2 years. Klopp is looking at 2022 summer Martinelli. You don't think I'm joking, innit? Yeah. I'm not joking. Klopp loves Martinelli. He's a 20-year-old left wing forward. Yeah, I'm telling you, Klopp loves Martinelli.
Yeah, Martinelli and Saka wouldn't be too bad to play with Martinelli and Salah, would it?
I'm telling you, we did it with Ox. We might go and do it with Martinelli. But Laurie, just you want to let the people know where they can find you before we leave our boat. It'll be in the description anyway, but just let the people know where they can find you.
And they can always catch me on the Talkish Cheap Show, which is every Tuesday, myself and Curtis. Yeah, man, I'm enjoying doing that show. The numbers are increasing. So, yeah, guys, check it out. It's not exclusive. I mean, it is to Arsenal, but we do discuss other things as well. And we do have guests on. Drift has been on before, innit? So,
yeah.
You know the drill. Yeah. But listen, thanks for having me on the show, man. I've really enjoyed it. I was supposed to be in the gym right now. And for me to miss out in the gym, you know what I mean?
Big up, man. Big up.
No, respect that, Laurie. George and Callum and Matt.
Bless you, Laurie. Thank
you, bro.
Lovely to meet you, man.
Keep doing your thing, bro. Enough respect.
We've got one last super chat before we go. That just come in, I think. Ason from Ason Injuries. Big up yourself. We will take Oberon a free if Arsenal pays wages.
You can Adebayor move,
did you not hear that Adebayor shade the other day, sir? Just before we go, he still holds a lot of resentment in it.
Yeah. I can't lie.
That was a lot of shade. I was like, okay, fair dues. But we'll talk about that another day. So, guys, love as always. Make sure you smash the like button now. Please get us up to at least 500, guys. It helps the algorithm. It's it's just the payment of entry. And obviously, make sure you check out in the description everyone's channel. Make sure you go over and subscribe to everyone else and subscribe to us. Get that notification bell on. We will be back tomorrow evening for the Kop-Ish calling, which you lot love. We love a Friday. And Matt, if you could just take us out, bro, we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.